Shoshap Majita. This is Baby Obuhlesiwo, also known as Ibuda the Jan. And welcome to Zoyisa Podcast, which is a journey of self-healing through ideas and a compassionate approach to self-mastery or conquering yourselves. This is a safe space where we can think, ideate on how to navigate life, and just imagine ourselves into existence outside the shackles of being imprisoned by the things that consumed us. So please subscribe, share with your friends, because it's going to be hearty, it's going to be emotional, it's going to be fun, and we're going to have the conversations that you usually have with yourselves at 3 a.m., but this time through a podcast. So please join us. We will be sipping on some good stuff, and hoping that our cups will overflow through the conversations that we will be having in this platform. Thank you.
Oleni nonke, my name is Tomaku Neikosani. I come to you as a friend, and welcome to Zoyisa Podcast. This is episode 1. We are coming at you live at the blog Labtronic Solutions, and if you want to use this podcasting studios, you can send your email at admin@labtronicsol.com. So this is episode 1. I once did, this is introduction. Also, we will, just to give you the feel of what's to come, we'll tackle one topic as we did when it was just an audio format. I used to do this back in 2020 during the lockdown, but I only got to 5 episodes and distractions came. But I'm bringing it back now. I have Baby Obuhlesiwo, whom I've shared that I want to bring this back, and she was on board. She's willing to come through, and we make this a reality once more. So we will not stop from those. We will not continue from those episodes that I did back then. We are starting a new journey now. So basically, this episode is just about conquering yourself. Zoyisa, that's what Zoyisa means. To conquer yourself, to learn, to unlearn, to unfuck, to... I don't know if we could curse as yet, but we'll decide as the show continues. But basically, ukuzoyisa, ukuzuyinqoba, all these things, ukuzazi ba unandoni eyingxaki kuwe, and fight against that negativity up until you reach a level where you feel like you are now in a better space. Mentally, kakhulu, emotionally, psychologically as well. I do, however, want to state that we are not in any form offering professional advice. Whatever we say here are things we've grown an interest into, not because we've went to school for them, and if anything we say here, you take it as medical or professional advice. With that being said, I will just let Obuhle introduce herself, and then we get into the episode.
Hello, guys. He said a lot. It's always weird to speak after someone who says a lot when they speak. Hello, guys. My name is Baby Obuhlesiwo, and I'm just a human being, who also struggles with life, who also struggles with self and being able to conquer myself. And so when he shared this idea after a conversation we had, I thought it was very important for us to have such a platform where we can have conversations that are hearty, while also being ourselves, while connecting. Because I think that often we don't have a lot of, let me not say we don't have them, but we also wanted something not only for you guys, but for ourselves to sit, to reflect, and to hold a mirror into our own lives, just so to see where it is that we're lacking, how it is that we can improve. Because we found that in the conversations we have with ourselves off air, when we are not shooting any podcast, we teach each other things where we get to unlearn and to learn. So this is what the platform is, just a space for you to think with us, to reflect with us, and to take everything that we are saying here with just a pinch of salt. Like he said, this is not a professional podcast. We are not experts in any of the things that we are talking about today, but we do have experiences that have led us to be aware of some of the things that we're talking about. So I hope you enjoy it. Today we're talking about
Imposter syndrome. Just before we read the official definition, what do you think is an imposter syndrome?
So imposter syndrome is basically, for me, it's when you feel like you're a fraud. It's when you feel like you are not deserving to be in a space or to be awarded an opportunity, or sometimes even in a relationship where you feel like you're not worthy of that space, of that opportunity, or of that relationship, because either you're not doing enough for it, or you don't have the capacity to hold space for it, or you're just not supposed to, you're not qualified to. So it's that feeling of, damn, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Imposter syndrome is that feeling of, I'm not qualified or equipped or capable of doing this, even when a lot of the times it's been proven that actually you are qualified.
Okay. Imposter syndrome is a psychological experience characterized by persistent self-doubt and the inability to believe that one's success is deserved, often accompanied by a fear of being exposed as a fraud, despite evidence of competence. So I think self-doubt,
Fraud,
exposure, and then
exposed.
Yes, and then competence.
Yeah. Can I also ask you a question before we move along?
Yes.
Do you, maybe you didn't think deeply into it, but now that you were just, talking about how you started the podcast in 2020, particularly this idea, do you think you had a moment of imposter syndrome there where you felt like, actually, maybe I'm not qualified to be talking about these things in particular? Or maybe because they come from me, people will feel like, I know.
Yeah, I think somehow, I think just an imposter syndrome is happens to everyone, even the best of the best.
Yeah.
Because here it says there's evidence here that you are competent. There's evidence that you can do this. But I think for the most part, I needed technical support in order to further the idea. I needed sort of someone else who can inspire more of, because I felt like, what if I'm not saying, or what if I am doing research but on the things that I like, not on the things that people want to hear?
Yes.
And then that's when I started to battle with the imposter. Then it felt as if no one is engaging, it might mean that it's not what they are looking for.
Yes.
So right now, I think I have experience now since I've started doing the NAFO podcast. We even did the sports edition. Yeah,
You've got a network now.
Yeah, so now I decided, you know what, it's time now. I have grown that confidence to say, if you don't like me or you don't like whatever, it's fine, you can pass. But I think I've come to a point where a lot of people know that there's content they can get from coming either to my page, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube, and these people can learn from the things I expose myself to when I am not behind the camera, when I'm not in front of the camera. So this is why I feel like now is the right time to bring it back. And so to answer your question, yes, I think I struggled with that. But not only with that, man. I think I have a degree, a law degree,
Yeah.
which I have
Yeah.
never used because of this is
LL
imposter syndrome.
Bandwana.
Because the thing for the most part is I respect the profession so much that there's this fear of if you fail, you fail. There's this fear that if I get into deep to it and someone trusts their life on me and I fail them, it will affect me psychologically. So there's just been that fear for the most part that maybe even if I deal with criminal or even if I deal with civil, there will, in order to learn, you will have to fail.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the spectrum of learning. You learn, you fail, you pass, you succeed, you learn, you fail, you pass, you succeed. So, and sometimes
I like that.
you get stuck on failure, which is giving up. That's what giving up is. When you learn and then you fail and then get stuck there and not move on from there, that's when you've given up on whatever it is. So yeah, I think for the most part, in a lot of things, man, I used to do a lot of things. I used to make music as well. And I also had the same thing. I used to draw.
Can you draw?
I used to draw. I used to also do cartoons that are now trending. I used to do things like that.
Oh, Ghibli.
Yeah. No. But I used to. Okay. Yeah. Now, but I used to. I did one for Reason, and then he posted it, and then I did one for DJ Fresh as well. I did one with Mandoza when he died, and then it was on trending. They say credited there by me. I did one for
You're so cool.
Tafaya.
So you're like a full-blown creative.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, puffies.
You see?
Yeah. I think yeah. So I did a lot of things for people who thought this was good, but it never felt good enough for me.
For you.
So yeah, to answer your question,
There's,
do you also think that you had a moment of imposter syndrome with your TikTok?
I did. And for me, more than anything, it was also rooted in the fear of failure. Because again, once you start failing, failure is associated with not being good enough, right? So when you failed, it's not, oh, life is like that, right? It's like, oh my God, I wasn't good enough, or I'm not supposed to be doing this, or I can't do this, and I'm not good at it. So that fear of failing and feeling like you are failing, because again, on TikTok, you need to get likes, you need to get more followers, you need to get engagement. So when you now all of a sudden start to take something seriously and you don't get the engagement you used to get, you don't get the followers and the likes you used to get, you then start to feel like, you're going to fail. So before I even reached that point of failing, I thought, you know what, let me just step away, step aside while I haven't reached to that point, because then it would be crazy to fail and then, to be at your peak and then fail.
I think we associate failure with identity.
Yeah.
So I think when you fail, you think you are a failure. You don't look at it as a learning process.
I don't know.
No, not basically on TikTok.
Yes,
but I'm just saying
generally.
In general. Once you fail at something, you get stuck as this is now your identity.
Yeah.
Like you failed. Instead of saying you will learn, you will fail,
on.
you will pass,
Yeah.
you will move on. That's basically
fail again.
everyone who has been a success in life has failed
failed.
at something. But I don't know, but I think the reason why they were able to move on is because they never identified failure
as just something that happens,
Yes,
as a natural
yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I I think you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Especially when you say the fear of failure, not just failure, but the fear of failure. Because when you fail, bro, like when you failed, and I've even like failed at school. At some point, I was the top achiever at my school, valedictorian, set aside to be that kid who will come back after 5 years and say I've graduated, and I failed my maths and physics, which just really broke me. And since then, there's been this relationship with academics, this relationship with even school that I now feel like I'm not good at it, or it wasn't just a one-time thing because of what I was going through, or just because of that particular phase in my life, that particular term in my life. It then started to feel like a thing, you know. I didn't mind the fact that I had never failed a grade before, I had never failed a term before, but because I failed that one term, I was just like, no,
Yeah.
there's no going up from this.
So here are the key characteristics of imposter syndrome. Self-doubt. You know you have the skill. You know you have the talent. You know you've got the accomplishments to prove that this is a skill, this is a talent. But you doubt that you deserve it. Fear of exposure.
Yeah.
You feel like you will be exposed.
People will see that actually
you're
not good
incompetent.
at this. That's also what I had with my TikTok. It just felt like people will one day wake up and realize I'm not this person that they all loved.
Yeah, maybe someone will do a video and say we need to be honest about that.
Baby C. Yes.
Yeah, and then people started saying, we'll just then go to the comment section and say,
like, I've been thinking about this. That's true.
I think, but maybe no one would have thought of this, but it's just the syndrome giving you this negativity. Undeserved success. You feel like here it says you think your success is due to luck. Like, man. The reason why I'm here, I'm where I am, it's because of luck. You think it's good timing. It was just the time. It's not because of you.
Yeah.
It was just the time. Or it's external factors outside yourself.
Particularly on the luck thing, can you phrase it how it was phrased here?
Yeah, it says you think your success is due to luck.
Yeah, I think that's really one of like the biggest things, right? And it again goes back to the fear of failure thing, man, right? Because if you feel like something came to you by luck, it's either because at that point you feel like you're afraid that you might fail at this thing, and it's only luck that brought you there. Because when you're thriving and when you really do feel like you're doing great and you're capable, you're not afraid. I've got this, I've got this. And as soon as gufiki hiccup, because I think imposter syndrome always kicks when there is anxiety involved. So here you are, you've been asked to MC something, okanye you've been asked to do your oral presentation, or you've been asked to just stand in the gap. But then une-nerves umthetho wako, you're anxious umthetho wako, because it's a new space or it's a new opportunity, or you have to speak in front of people, and you're bound to be anxious because you don't know these people. But when you get there, you're not certain because now you are uncertain about what may happen next. You start to become fearful, and when you become fearful, you're like, benzo tina up. Hey, I think it's because someone knows someone, or
it's
connections, or
it's
you start to tell yourself, I was lucky. How did I get this? You even forget that actually you once did something and you killed it, and so people were like, this kid, So it's also rooted in anxiety, I wanna say, and not being certain of what will happen next.
You are going back to this. You are coming to this at the point that is written here as a key characteristic. Perfectionism. So you want to perfect everything.
Yeah.
Because if you make a mistake,
you'll fail.
Yeah. And you and you uzokrotyelwa. Ingathi, I think it strives a lot when it's ikubeka ecaleni, ne? And then it gives you this information about yourself, all the bad things that have happened to make you feel like you are not deserving. And then it says here, anxiety and low self-esteem.
And I think it also happens to confident people here.
Yeah.
Like even the most confident person in the room can have imposter syndrome, because I think in those moments, you yourself and everything you know about yourself, up until that moment, you start to forget.
Yeah.
There's this self-forgetting thing that happens when you have imposter syndrome, where you forget everything you've ever achieved, where you even forget the positives just because of one negative comment about yourself. Umduati, guys, let's be serious.
Yeah.
Kota guys, eyes, just atumdu kota guys, and that eye emoji, and all of a sudden you've forgotten every other good comment about, oh my God, you're so great at this. You've even forgotten that you've received this job or this opportunity because you were so good at it. And I don't know why. Like, you just become so paralyzed that you even forget.
Okay. I think
confidence, yeah.
I think we are left with 9. So let me just read how it manifests.
Okay.
And then we do commentary and then just how to cope
Yeah.
with it. Yeah. So this is, here it says how it manifests, the imposter syndrome. It's lack of self-confidence. They may lack self-confidence in their abilities when they have a track record. You have a track record that proves
it's proven.
that, yeah, you've done this before. You could do it again, but you don't have the confidence just because of this imposter syndrome. The sensitivity to criticism.
Yeah.
They may be overly sensitive to criticism and mistakes. If anyone points out your mistakes,
one negative comment, all of a sudden you forget every other good thing that you've ever done.
And how you react to it, it's like it's something that is big. It destroys everything that you've built up until that criticism comes through.
Look, by politicians don't have imposter syndrome.
I think they do, but they cover it up with all the other things.
No, but most of the time they're not even competent. So, like, they're very bold, audacious.
Yeah, you have a point.
Yeah, they're very bold.
Fear of failure. They avoid taking risk because they feel like they will fail.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't, even if someone says, yeah, you just avoid the conversation because you feel like this will be a big step for you. And when you are at high pressure, you fold.
Yep.
So you try to avoid things like that.
You're just like, no, let's not even go there.
Burnout. They may experience burnout because of working too hard to prove themselves. So this is how it manifests. At the moment where you feel like there's burnout, that's how it manifests. It hits you there at your moment of burnout when you've overworked yourself to prove that you deserve to be here. So it can impact an individual's career, a relationship, and overall just the well-being. Yeah.
So basically, I like the fact that kuthiwa imposter syndrome even in relationships.
Yeah, because sometimes you might date someone who's highly respected in their career field, and when you look into yourself, you feel like you're under 9 degree. And I think for the most part, then you suppress yourself to other conversations. Because you feel like I will expose myself.
I'm not supposed to be in this relationship. Yeah. This person will wake up one day and realize that.
Or here, you've already, even if they don't think that way, already when I saw abanfuni, batindile qaba, and.
30 seconds and everyone will realize that. Yeah, this person akayazi lenda yenzayo. And then xa evuka ngomso athi, baby, ayikho lenda.
Yazobani bathi ngawe, and I feel like they
banyanisile. Yayibona nami. And I think the craziest thing for me about imposter syndrome, while a lot of times it's just your brain or your mind and fear lying to you, right? It causes you to self-sabotage. Like, there's no one who self-sabotages imposter syndrome, because here you are, right? Feeling like you're not deserving to be in a space, you're not deserving of an opportunity. And because you feel like, personally, I don't deserve this opportunity because blah, 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 blah. And we entertain those conversations. There's no conversation you'll ever entertain in your life about imposter syndrome. You now begin to self-sabotage to say, okay, I feel like people will realize that actually I don't know what it is that I'm doing, and they're not even supposed to watch my videos. So what happens now? You stop taking all those videos. This person will wake up and realize that, no, I'm not the person they want to be with. I'm not worthy to be with them. Why? Because imposter syndrome is telling you that, no, you're not enough. What that does is that you begin to self-sabotage. You begin to do things in the relationship that you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
Right? You begin to act in ways to counteract that. Now you act outside of yourself. And
but
then
defensive, yes. You are
your
not being
person
attacked.
Could be saying, hey, babe, please do this and this, or babe, I don't like this. And now you start to think, ish,
yeah,
I'm not enough. And then, because of you self-sabotaging and you standing in the way of yourself growing and yourself just existing, the person is like, yeah, let's stop this. Or you fail at it, but not because you were not good, only because you allowed that to consume you, and then you failed.
With that being said, the coping strategies.
Yeah.
Acknowledge.
What are yours first? Before you read these, I want to know what are yours first.
My coping strategies.
Yes.
Okay, wait.
Have you coped with it?
Let me just read, and then we will conversate with the 2 minutes that is remaining. So it says, acknowledge and validate your feelings.
It's imposter syndrome, yes.
Focus on your accomplishments.
Yeah.
Like, don't focus on what you have not yet achieved or accomplished. Focus on what you have, and like put your mind into these things. Like, this is where I'm at now.
Yeah.
How do I attain? But this is where I'm at. Challenge your negative thoughts. We challenge a lot of things except for them. We let them parade our minds and our bodies. They affect us in however negativity they want, and we never challenge them. And then seek support, maybe with friends, maybe with family, maybe with professional help. But seek support when you feel like, I feel like I'm not good enough, even though I have the qualifications. Seek support. Conversate about these feelings so that the people that know and maybe have dealt with this will give you an advice as to how to continue. And then practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Do not. If you were your child, would you be this harsh to your child?
Or even if you were your friend.
Yes, would you be this harsh to your friend now? Whoever it is, whoever you feel like you owe kindness to, start with yourself.
Damn, I actually like those. Yeah. Because I personally never usually deal with the imposter syndrome. It literally always wins. Yeah. Like, it always wins. I'll shut down, stop doing things, and really move like that has never even been a thing in my life, or just walk besides it, and then everyone else is shocked like, but what's happening? And I won't even talk about it to say, yes, actually, I feel like I'm not enough, right? Because sometimes when I do feel like I'm not enough, it's as if people will reaffirm me, not in honesty, but they'll reaffirm me because they feel like that's what they should be doing. And so, speak about it. I think it's very important to even have honest people in your life who will gently remind you that, actually, Chomi, you're right. I mean, actually, Chomi, you're not being truthful in this moment. It is imposter syndrome, And I also think that, when you find yourself dealing with imposter syndrome, it's important that you look at how it's coming to you, right? If it's a new opportunity and you feel like you are not equipped for it, or you feel like you're not enough for it, you need to ask yourself why. Why do you feel like you're not good at it? Because sometimes I feel like imposter syndrome is not always you feeling like you're not good enough for something, even though you know that you are. Sometimes it's there as a call to action for you to upskill, as a call to action for you to learn more or to try and do more, or maybe as a trigger to something that you need to attend to. Because truth of the matter is, at times when I felt imposter syndrome, it was more of a call to action to say, Mfethu, yes, you are deserving to be in the space. That's why you're in the space. But also, you need to learn more about that particular thing. Because sometimes in Yansil, like you feel like you can't do something, which is what politicians need to learn, that you feel like you can't do something, and it's not the devil, or it's not anxiety, or it's not fear of failure, but it's actually you being, needing to be aware that, yeah, there's room for growth in that particular area. And yeah, we need to be open to that as well, because we like the idea of imposter syndrome, even though it cripples us. I feel like it's easy to say yes, it's imposter syndrome to everything, right? Fikumdu apa ongakwazi ukucula, sorry to say that, or who really needs to go and perfect a craft yakhe. Umbuze, bra, why are you not putting out your work there, or why are you not doing this? At AI, brothers, imposter syndrome. But when in actual fact, that's your mind, that's your body, or that's you telling yourself that, Bafo, you need to work at it. Not perfect it, but you need to grow a little more so that, you can be at a place where you're comfortable enough to do that thing. Not be perfect, but where you are.
There's I don't know if it's Maxis or I think it's Maxis. For the most part, philosophy is you never really know something based just only on theory. You need to practice.
Yeah.
You need to. So whatever it is that you feel like you don't qualify for,
Yeah.
you learn on the job.
Yeah.
Open yourself to learning.
Yeah.
When even with this, if you watch this and open yourself up for learning, you then get to learn and then learn more and then learn more.
Yeah.
And then that's basically how you become an expert into something.
Yeah.
No one is born perfect. No one is born all-knowing. Yeah. Even the greatest people ever, there's practice that they did. That's why they say practice makes perfect. If you think you don't qualify, practice so that you then get to qualify.
Like if someone would watch the very first episodes of even this podcast, you'd realize that actually, like, it wasn't as clearer. The sound wasn't as good as this, right? But if he had only decided in that moment, and compared it to, let's say, Pumile Dwaba's podcast.
Yeah, it wasn't
right?
there.
You would have felt like
there wasn't any at that time.
What? Yes, there wasn't anything to
compare
to. But if, let's say, he did, he would have felt like it wasn't enough.
Listen, I had in 2014 we shot the first tablet, the first episode of a Naval podcast called 2014, which we lost the footage. 2015, I was with a team called Team Nation. We were doing music. We shot something there, 2015, for like 30 minutes. It was going to be an ongoing thing. We only did once and then we never did again. 2022, we shot something as well. I think 3 episodes, and then nothing happened up until 2023. So there has been a lot of trialing and erring, and then trialing and then erring up until we got here. And this is not the summit. We have to work so much, because now once we get the content, now we have to find our people. And then once we find out people, we have to keep them.
Sustain.
Yeah,
maintain,
yes. So I think when it comes to this, in overall, it doesn't. This happens even in churches.
Yeah.
Sometimes because you didn't go to the Bible school,
Yeah.
even though you know the Bible, you feel like you are not qualified. Even though in the Bible, a lot of people were not qualified. Because imagine,
Yeah.
David was a shepherd who was not born of a bloodline of kings, but he became a king through appointment by God and anointing by some, I think it's Samuel.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that he was anointed and then he
Peter
was
was a
appointed.
fisherman.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all the people, when you check the history and the track records of the people
Paul,
who
Pharas.
became the greatest
Yes.
people in the Bible, they did not qualify to be there.
Yeah.
Even abanye babebulele abantu Moses, but
Yeah.
they were anointed and God qualified them to. You will now then affect the next generation by taking all these slaves and freeing them.
But don't kill. Don't kill.
No. I think for the most part, we are just saying
Yeah.
even the Bible supports you because no one is born qualifying.
Yeah.
And even the kings that we have of today, it is by bloodline and by the methods we've created in the world. But everyone could be a king and everyone could be a queen. But because we had to have a leadership structure, we've chosen a certain bloodline to continue. But what I'm saying is, whatever it is that you have your mind set into, you have an interest in pursuing, do that.
Yeah. I think that's
Fail, but do not stop.
yeah. Fail but don't stop. I like that. We could even print that in a t-shirt. Yeah, but also I think you need to know the limits of your ability, so that when you've reached and you've done the best of your own abilities, you can know that actually this is all I could have done. And you tell your imposter syndrome that in too, I don't care what you're telling me right now, but I know myself and this is what I could have done. And I think there's something comforting about knowing that you've given your all, because imposter syndrome tries to tell you that you didn't do anything or what you did was not enough. But when you know that you've given something your all, it's like when a relationship ends and you know, actually, I did the best that I could. Yeah, but it allows you to not be stuck in that moment of failure, but to be able to move on. It's like when you fail the test, xa uyobhala test, ibenzima test, but because you know you studied and you studied like at the best of your ability, xa uphuma pha uthi hayi ela phepha belinzima, but yeah, you know because you've given it your all. It's like this life thing. You keep putting your best foot forward. Your best foot forward. There's a saying by this other girl who says, sometimes you put your best foot forward and your best foot is a size 5, but a size 8 is needed. What do? You keep going until you find, the best feet. What that means is that sometimes when you do something and the best of your ability is 5 and you need to go to a 9, you can't, because you can only get to a 5, and that allows you, or that needs you to be gentle with yourself and not label yourself as a failure just because you couldn't wear a size 9. How can I complain that I'm a size 5 when someone else is a size 9? Because what that means is that the person who wears a size 9 cannot wear a size 5, right? So you need to really be gentle with yourself, but know where your limit is and set that as your limit. I'm not saying limit yourself in everything, but know your abilities and the limits of those abilities, so that you are not fazed by anything else that says otherwise, because you know yourself. And I don't think there's anything that beats being kind to yourself. Yabo. And yeah, being kind to yourself, because izawuthi sitting up now ubuqonde
Yeah. I think as in essence what we are saying is keep showing up.
Yeah.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
This is even for myself when I watch this and maybe I feel a certain way. Just keep on keeping on, keep showing up. I always say on Blair's edition that if you show up every day, you never miss a lucky day.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most important thing in this life thing is to just keep showing up, keep occupying space. I think that's what Zosmini said.
Yeah. Take up space and cement yourself.
Yeah. So whoever is watching, even if it's me, when I watch this, however you feel, because moods are things that come and go, but what is constant is what you do with them. So if you let your mood affect you in living this life thing, you paralyze your success into nothingness.
Ooh,
so
that's dope.
Yeah, if you've watched until here, we'll just close it off at 45. If you've watched until here, we are grateful, we appreciate it. I think there's more to explore, there's more to talk about, there's more we can shoot. We can also get guests whom you can conversate with, whom I can conversate with, to push this idea of ukuzoyisa, to conquer ourselves, to fight this. There's a lot of mental health issues. There's a lot of suicide that is happening. There's a lot of giving up, lack of resilience, lack of motivation. There's a lot
just
of
resigning.
So we are doing this because we want to approach and fight that negativity. Because if you are able to fight all the other things, just also learn to fight yourself, the negative side of yourself that tells you things that are not true. And whatever makes something true or false is based on what you believe. If you believe you lack, you will continue to lack. If you believe you don't lack, life or the universe will keep providing.
I agree.
Because there's a Bible verse 80. Uyazibona uqhayita kwazindaka. Uyazibona how happy they are. They are not worried about what will they eat tomorrow, because they know about Thixo will always provide. So for as long as you are alive, the universe, God, your whoever you believe, ancestors will keep providing for you. As long as you show up, as long as you live. And also, I used to say, "Bana, why not I fancy calling money? Because now I'm something now."
Oh.
You know? Like I used to walk a lot and then go on a queue and say 80 rand. It's so good. But now, for the most part, you also call money because of something now, and you are happy and for the most part. Because if we call them when you feel like we be like on the top up. But yeah, what are your final words in closing?
My final words is just a prayer for you, or rather a sweet word to you, that I hope in watching this podcast you may feel part of this community that we're trying to build, because more than anything we're just trying to build a community that is a safe space for all of us to be vulnerable with ourselves, and hopefully by being vulnerable with yourself you can then be able to extend that to everyone else around you. I think that when you are vulnerable, you operate from a place of connection, and you start to connect with people, connect with things, and you become genuine even in your connections, because they come from a deep place within. So I hope you find a safe space even within yourself that you can go to when the world is tough on you, a safe space within yourself that you can rest kuyo, even when you feel like izinto azami kahle. And uzazi, we will be learning about ourselves as we go. So I hope now you'll be able to learn more about yourself and be able to conquer yourself. One of my quotes that I love so much is a quote by, I forgot Winston something something, but it says, I am the
Winston
captain.
Churchill.
I don't think it's Winston Churchill, I forgot, but it's someone with a W. It says, I am the master of my own fate, the captain of
My own.
I am the captain of my soul, the master of my fate. But I think that as soon as we're able to master ourselves, ayikho enye into ezakuwavarisha emhlabeni, because if you don't know yourself, you'll be blown to many different directions by imposter syndrome, by the pressures of the world, by the people of this world. So knowing yourself is important. It's the most beautiful gift you can give to yourself. And more than anything, please support this. I think this is not just a cup, guys. This is you saying you are a part of a community of people who are in this journey of life, struggling, trying to find their way through and navigate their way through. When you drink from this cup, everything will overflow. There'll be an overflow.
Amen. Yeah. So this has been Zoyise podcast, the art of conquering ourselves.
Yeah.
Until next time,
we're
out.
Boo, boo, boo.
This podcast has been proudly brought to you by Leptronic Solutions, recorded at the Block Studios. And if you want to use our facilities, get in touch with us on all our social media platforms, Leptronic Solutions. Email us admin@leptronicsol.com.